Hey guys, welcome back to the It's Really Not That Deep podcast.
It's never that deep.
So, at this time of recording, Haley and I have our first episode coming out tomorrow. So, please excuse if we seem nervous. We are.
Everyone go stop this video and watch our first one and then come back to this video.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Okay.
Anyways, we decided that we were gonna have a conversation about luck and what it means to be lucky, what it means to be unlucky, the psychology behind it, as well as times when sometimes it's not always luck and sometimes it's you.
An example I'm thinking of about this is like something like this, like starting a podcast, like posting on TikTok. You think when people blow up, like it's luck and they're lucky, but it's just like work, you know? And I feel like we accredit a lot of stuff to luck when it is effort.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I think some of the time. I think, like, for TikTok, for example, like, I think it just takes one video, like, and that is a little bit luck to blow up. And then once you do blow up, I think it takes a lot of work to maintain that growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we talk about people being lucky, I feel like we leave a lot of that credit to chance, when I kind of think in reality, luck is, like, the way you approach situations, and you just like with the energy you put out you get back. So if you approach the situation with good energy and abundance, you're more likely to be lucky. What do you think about that?
I think that we keep going back, and we're gonna keep going back to manifesting, to positive thinking, positive affirmations, and just changing your mindset in general. And I think I've seen it in myself. It's a huge difference when I have a positive mindset, or when I believe that I could accomplish these things. Then I find myself being in more scenarios that open myself up to different possibilities.
Yeah. When you call yourself lucky, or when you think of someone who is, you probably think of them in a certain way, like being very out there, being very open to new things and talking to people, and like, oh, it's luck, but it's kind of just that person. And if you think you're lucky, like, you're more likely to act like that person, because we have this notion of like good things happening to the lucky person. But it makes so much sense that good things happen to the manifesting person.
Do you think that you've had any mindset changes that have led you to feel like you've gotten luckier?
For sure. And I think, like, even looking back at myself as a teenager, I didn't know about manifestation. I was not doing it. And then as soon as we started, that's when I'm like, oh, I'm lucky. I have all these things coming to me. So a big one that I've been doing a lot and feeling a lot is gratitude. Because, like, you're lucky. You're saying what you're lucky for. You're calling in the feeling of lucky. I'm lucky that I'm here with you. I'm lucky that I have new clothes to wear, like anything. And then you're in that state and you attract more of that state.
Yeah, that's a great mindset. I just find that I don't have that positivity in me.
It's a habit.
I know,
Everyone
and we've been over this.
That.
I'm bad at habits, Joelle.
I know, but you just need to rewire the habits to give you dopamine instead of other things, like little wins.
I know.
I know you know. I
don't
know
just
why
not
I'm
good
preaching
at
to the
it.
choir.
But you're preaching the peanut gallery because I don't do nothing about it. I've definitely always thought of you as a lucky person. Like, throughout, kind of since I've known you, maybe you just kind of, even when you weren't in that, once I got closer to you and I started to actually understand who you were as a person, I definitely could see that more, like, anxious part of you and, like, the insecurities, which, of course, when you get close to someone, you know them better. But the way you come off to people in general, I do not think, like, I think forever has always been, like, that kind of confident, like, it works out.
That's crazy, because I did not used to think that way at all. And, like, I don't know, I guess there's so many stages of your life. Mm-hmm. But that's crazy to hear you say. Because I know you would have thought that, like, the past few years.
Yeah.
But I do really think, like, I keep saying this, but it's just what you put out there, you get back.
Mm-hmm. Which just going off of that, this isn't technically manifesting, and I'm not sure if I talked about it before, But karma, I am so, what is the word? Passionate about karma, because I think whatever, just as Joelle just said, whatever you put into the world, you're going to get back. So whenever you have an opportunity to give back in any sort of way, do it. If you see someone that you could go buy a coffee for, go buy a coffee for them. If someone needs a donation or like a cause that feels close to you, go donate. And it doesn't always need to be about money. If someone asks you for help, just help them. I think that karma often circles back, and I think I used to be really unlucky, and I found that I had really bad luck.
Yeah.
But I think I've kind of turned that around, and I don't really feel that anymore.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I feel like also with friendship, like people are like lucky to have these good friends and like lucky to have met their friend group early. Some people are unlucky, like I will say that. But I feel like it's the same thing. The karma. Like when my friend is going through something, I want to check in, I want to send flowers, I want to like be there for them. A thought I recently had is that like growing up, the motto is treat other people how you want to be treated. And I was thinking like, yeah, I've always treated people really well, but not myself. I didn't treat myself that well. And that was just crazy for me. Like, why aren't we taught treat yourself the way you treat other people if you're a good human being?
And I think you're not alone in that thought. I think most people do feel that way. I think unless you're like a little narcissistic, you often treat others better than yourself, and you think that you have to give more than take.
Yeah.
And I think what's important in a friendship and in a relationship is to learn that balance. And I think once you do learn that balance and you allow yourself to take a little bit, then your friendships grow and you're able to kind of see who's there even when it's 50-50 and not like 70-30.
Yeah. So true.
So just to shift a little from our little tangent we went on, another big thing that's important in terms of luck is changing your mindset. So one big thing that I think we both have learned is that you need to have an opportunity mindset. This is something that I really learned over the past few months, and I don't think I knew this, but it's really hard to actually do it. So if you didn't know, I went away for 6 months, and I had to meet all new people and kind of discover new things. And one thing that I learned is you always have to utilize those around you. I really started to approach different things. So for example, in like different things, in professional aspects or social aspects, I tried to see people that I know or connections that I know and just ask people. You never know what can come out of just asking someone. Even if you don't really know them, connections are so important and they help you create opportunities that you never knew existed.
So true.
Like how many jobs do you think are actually found from Indeed or these different sites compared to asking of a family friend or someone that you sort of ish know? Chances are they're going to say yes. They'll even just have a chat with you. And that's even just information is money.
Yeah.
And then also remember the opposite. If someone ever reaches out or you hear someone talking and you know someone or something that can help them, another thing, good karma. Help them. Yeah.
Just be a good person. That's all.
Most of the time.
So something we've been talking about throughout this episode that you may not know if you didn't study psychology is the self-fulfilling prophecy. So what a self-fulfilling prophecy actually is an expectation or belief that can influence your actions, pretty much. So if you think of yourself as this person who puts themselves out there and takes risks, you're more likely to put yourself out there and take risks just by virtue of like the self-fulfilling prophecy. Because you think it about yourself, you are going to prove to yourself, because your mind likes to be right, that that's what happens. Did you know that your brain, your subconscious, doesn't know the difference between real and imagined?
I didn't know that.
I hope that I got that right. But truly, like, if you're coming up with scenarios in your head, the reason it's so addicting and so, like, mind-consuming is because your subconscious, doesn't realize if it's real or fake.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's also really important to touch on the opposite of not the opposite, it's still a self-fulfilling prophecy, but the same way you can instill all these positive thoughts into you, you can also instill all these negative thoughts. And the more you think negatively and think all these things aren't going to happen and you have the worst luck, then that's what your subconscious is going to choose to believe, because that's what you're feeding it. I always tell my mom, because she's not the most positive Polly out there, so I always tell her, you need to try to be more positive in different aspects of your life. And she finds it so hard, and I'm like, once you start acting positively, then other things start happening in that area. And honestly, I think I'm gonna tell her this after this episode.
Tell her to watch this episode.
I will.
And it is hard. It's hard. Yeah. No one ever said it wasn't hard. We're not here saying it's easy. But it's life-changing, and all good things are hard. So pick your battles, and, like, don't throw it off by being like, oh, but it's not as easy as they make it sound, because...
It's not. I can't do habits. Sometimes some people can't be positive.
I don't like to believe that. But I guess.
There's also definitely different levels of positivity. And if you're not 100% positive, that's A-okay. I think I used to be a negative Nancy. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm glad we're on the same page. So I definitely was, and I think I've really changed my mindset over the last, I don't even know how long. And it is possible. I kind of always seen Joelle as a positive person. You've definitely gotten more positive over time. So there's definitely different levels to what can happen.
The goal is always just to get 1% better. Like, you're not going from 0 to 100 immediately. Like, it's just to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, because that's growth, that's moving forward. Like, that's it. It's not you have to instill all these changes and your life has to be completely different tomorrow. It's tiny little things.
And sometimes it's really hard, especially for me. I find it's really hard to see the day-to-day changes, because who really thinks back, especially like ADHD brain, I don't remember anything, and I think whatever's happening in the moment is what's happening forever. One thing I've noticed is when I was away, I kept a journal, and just reading back to that journal, I was like, wow, this is crazy. How much changed in even just a few months?
Yeah.
Like, even reading it there, that's a great way of keeping track.
I've had Project 365
Yeah, it's insane.
For I'm holding up 10 fingers, 5 years. So I take a picture every single day, and I don't write every single day. But I can go back to our first year in Guelph and be like, I have receipts because I wrote down exactly what happened. Not that we're, like, looking for receipts on anyone. But just, like, I know exactly what happened.
But I could.
I know exactly what happened because I have it written down on my app. And it's so, like, when you're in the moment of a negative state, you're like, this is my whole life. I'm never going to be happy again. It's nice for me to, like, go back and see, okay, oh, she was really not good. But then 2 days later, she was actually having a good day.
Yeah. And it's also nice when you're in such a positive mindset to look back and think, I've been there and I could be there again. My friend bought me a 5-year journal, and you write in it like a little snippet every day for 5 years. And then recently I've kind of fallen off.
She forgot, but she bought that for me too.
I did buy it for you too.
I was going to ask you today if you've fallen off, so thanks for the update.
It's hard. Start again.
It's really hard to be consistent. I go, because you forget one day and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's awful.
I just go back and write something for the previous day.
That's what I was doing. I'd like go back a few days, but it got to a point where it was just a little long. But maybe I'll just start fresh.
Yeah, you don't have to go back.
Yeah. So now that we've kind of gone over what it means to be lucky, how to improve your luck, you may be thinking, okay, now what? So we have gone ahead and broken down how to increase your luck and your positivity in different things in a little bit of a step-by-step guide. So here we go.
Okay, so step 1 is to adopt a yes mentality. So, especially in our developing brains, there is neuroplasticity, which allows us to rewire our brains to some extent, because they're not just set in stone. So saying yes to more things rewires your brain to be more open to opportunities instead of, like, fearing them. I feel like a lot of people fear them, myself included. And the more you do something, the more you practice something, the better you become at it. So if you set a goal to say yes to more things and, like, put some energy and focus to that, you can be opening up a lot of opportunities for yourself and a lot of luck.
And I think some people may be in a situation that maybe they don't have someone to say yes to. Maybe no one's jumping at them with ideas. Maybe some ideas that I've tried to instill lately is I find that when I'm with my friends and we don't live really in the city, that it's so easy to just sit at home and watch a movie or do something that we do every single weekend. So what I was trying to do is to start looking up events happening in Toronto, or there's different websites. Eventbrite is a big one. Anywhere, I think in the US it works too. And go find something that seems interesting. And sometimes there's things for like individuals that are meant to go alone, and then you could also bring a friend to different things. And we've done a lot of those recently.
Yeah, we have. And like, even if they're not good and not fun, like we have fun.
Yeah, we're just happy we did something different. We
Yeah.
said yes to something. That's a big thing too. As much as you need to say yes, you also need to know when it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
If you know you're not going to enjoy something, you have to give it a chance. Give it a try or two. But if you really do know, don't put yourself in a situation that you're not going to enjoy. You're going to end up regretting it.
Yeah. And then you'll be mad at yourself. And what's worse than that? Another one of our things to live by that we didn't say is don't find fun, be fun. And that's exactly what this is like. Like, don't find the energy. Don't have to go out there to be with other people and find the energy. Be the energy. And then you attract it.
Yeah, not everyone's going to be waiting on your doorstep, grabbing you by the hand, bringing you downtown for a party. It doesn't really happen like that.
No.
So unless your friend group goes downtown and parties every single weekend, it's hard to find things that excite you, and especially to get going from not the city to the city, it takes a little bit of effort. So you're always happy once you're there. Just be the fun, and you always end up enjoying yourself and creating memories.
Yeah.
So the next step that we have to increase your luck is to increase your social capital. So I'm not going to go over this because I did in quite length, but pretty much create opportunities and meet new people and ask people uncomfortable questions, because chances are they're eager to help you.
So step 3 is training your brain for positivity. So again, this is like the neuroplasticity idea that you can change your pathways. So how to achieve that is that your brain changes based on repeated thoughts and behaviors. So that's why habits are so good, because if you just keep doing something consistently and you push yourself to get there, like it becomes a habit. Your brain changes and forms to it.
Maybe JoJo should do a solo episode on habits.
I'd be honored. So, our challenge to you is for 3 days, just for 3 days this week. It doesn't have to be consistent, any 3 days. When you wake up, just think about something you're grateful for. Think about something you're excited for in the day, and just see how you feel. Just see how that makes you feel, and maybe see if your day's any better. If not, what did you lose?
And I know a lot of you watching are going to say, that's stupid. I'm not going to go and look in a mirror and tell something positive about myself. Who are you embarrassed about? If you're embarrassed about looking at yourself and saying it, then don't do it. But if you just trust the process and try, just try one time. See how it goes.
Guys, it's made me happy. It's like actually made me happy. It's made so many people
It's
I know
proven.
happy. It's proven by psychologists and doctors, and just try it. Just try it. You have such a fixed mindset if you're not trying it.
Exactly.
You need to adopt the growth mindset.
Preach. And the final step is to fake it until you make it. Just pretend you're lucky. Pretend these great things are going to happen. If you pretend, your subconscious is going to believe it and it will become your reality. So just fake it. And I know we say that in every episode, but it really is the key to success.
Fake it and take aligned action. So fake it, and then if there's something that you can do to actually move yourself closer to the goal, you have to do that. Because manifestation is not just saying like, I want $1 million in a year and getting $1 million. Like, that's absurd. You have to be actively moving towards the goal, right?
I agree. I think that someone who's really good at habits, that seems a lot easier. But for someone like me who struggles getting anything done, I think starting, even being a little bit delulu,
Yeah.
is okay to start.
Yeah.
And slowly, you could keep watching and we'll help you continue. But for now, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And with that, that's our episode.
Comment down below if this episode worked and you got really lucky this week, what would be the thing that you're hoping for? Like what?
And say it in a way that it's already happening.
It's already yours.
It's already yours.
We love you guys and we'll see you next time. And just remember, it's really not that deep.
It's never that deep.